Hi, I'm John Burwell Jr. and welcome to Power 30 Training. In today's session, we're going to be talking about effective communication. Now, communication, it's fair to say, is something that's in the majority of our day, all the different interactions that we have, all the people that we come into contact. We're going to talk specifically about those interactions with the people at work, our co-workers, or as we like to call them, our team members. Now, Power 30 Training has identified 4 specific actions when taken actually are called blockers. Now, blockers are things that create distractions or barriers. They really limit the achievement of effective communication. The first blocker that Power 30 Training has identified is called practicing. So say a team member is approaching you and they want to share an experience or situation that they just recently went through, and immediately as they start to talk, you start to practice your response. You don't even have to hear all of it. You may hear pieces of it, but you fill the gaps with what you're thinking happened, and you're not really listening to them at all. The second blocker that Power 30 Training has identified is called gesturing or expressioning. That's when, as the team member is talking, you may be raising your eyebrows, you may be shrugging your shoulders, you may be nodding your head, you may be shaking your head. Just anything that would be a movement that would cause a distraction as well. Team members look at you going, wow, all this movement, all this is going on. Is he really listening to me at all? The third blocker that Power 30 Training has identified is called sounding. Now, this is something that we do a lot of. Next time you're in a communication or you're talking to a buddy, just pay attention to how much this goes on. This is when little small sounds are made as they're talking. You may just some little hums or even moans that you're listening. Along with the noises, we also may include words like, okay, wow, really, you're kidding me, whoa, no. And then what we really got to be careful is when we put number 2 and number 3 together, when we're gesturing and expressioning and sounding. And so there's all kinds of distracting going on. Your team member's looking at you, he's seeing all these movements, he's hearing all these noises, he's trying to continue what he's saying, and he's like, wow, they're just really not listening to me at all, I'm wasting my time. The fourth blocker that we really need to be careful of is called finishing. This too is one that we see quite often. Your team member starts to talk to you and they hesitate for just a brief moment to either find a word or collect their thoughts, and we pick a word for them. We fill that gap, that moment in time that they need. Or we may finish the whole statement for them. Well, is this what you meant? And it may not be. Remember, they're talking from their perspective. You're listening from your perspective. But what's important is they're the one that's sharing their experience. And so it's fair to say that we would want that same attention given to us. So make sure that we're giving that as well to our team members or any other kind of communication experience that we're involved in. One specific action that Power 30 Training has identified that you can do to help avoid these 4 blockers is to make good, strong eye contact. As a team member approaches and they start to share their experience, you look them in the eye. You really focus in on their face and looking them in the eye and seeing the expressions that they're making, some of their physiology, their tone of voice. What this is going to do is really help you to understand the impact that that experience had on them. You're really going to be able to understand how important or how distressed or how upset they were with this, and then you can really see which direction you need to go from your response. So if you've seen any one of these blockers demonstrated in yourself or anyone in your organization, please contact us at www.power30training.com and we can talk to you more about effective communication. Until next time, I'm John Burwell Jr. with Power 30 Training.